loves, it's Cassie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm giving you guys 25 tips on how to maintain a long-term relationship. You know, Nolan and I have been together for a while, and he and I get tons of questions from people asking us, how in the world were we able to maintain an 8-year relationship, transitioning from our teenage years into young adulthood? So he and I decided to sit down, compile tons of tips for you guys, and then we narrowed it down to 25. I truly believe that these tips will help you, whether you're thinking about getting into a relationship, just got into one, or you've been in one for a while and you just need some things to be ironed out a little bit. I really believe that these tips will help you. So I really want you guys to sit back, relax, take some notes if you want to, grab your girlfriend, grab your boyfriend, and have a dialogue with each other. Feel free to press pause at any given time and hash some things out with each other. Compare what we have to say to what you have already experienced. So, if you're interested in how we maintain this relationship for so long, please keep watching. Before I get started, I want to put out a disclaimer. I love to do these. If you're interested in being in a relationship, you found that person that you're attracted to, right? Before you even approach them, ask yourself this: am I ready? Am I up for the task? Am I up for the challenge? Okay? Am I going to waste this person's time, break their heart, ruin their chances of love in the future? Am I ready for this? It's not a game. I'm not trying to scare you guys, but we're talking about two different people, right? With two different outlooks on life, two different upbringings, attracted to each other and coming together to become a unit. This is no joke. It's exhilarating, it's love, it's euphoric, but it's also hard work, it's painful, and it's emotionally draining. Ask yourself, am I ready? And if it's yes, come along for the ride. It's about to get real, okay? Let's get started. Number 1. Establish a deep and organic friendship with the person that you like. When Nolan and I first met each other, we were 16 and 17 years old. We were so young and vibrant, and now we're 25. The genesis of our relationship was friendship. We got to know each other, ask each other our deepest, darkest secrets. We vented to each other. We took time. We took our time to get to know each other. We established our own traditions. We had our own handshake. We had our own lingo. We played with each other. We were truly best friends. And when you establish a friendship, you never want to hurt your best friend. And I think that's the perfect foundation to any long-term relationship with longevity, is friendship. Tip number 2, consistency. I cannot stress it enough when it comes to communication in the genesis of a relationship. If you guys text each other every day, communicate with each other every day, that shows the person that you're actually interested in them and that they can reciprocate it back and show that they're interested in you. When you're getting to know each other, there's going to be some times where you're combating with each other and you're playing communication games like, well, he didn't text me back as soon as I text him back, so I'm going to wait 3 hours to text him back. Or he's do the same thing to you. That's very childish. And there isn't any time for that, really. There's no time to play games, no communication games. If you say that you're gonna do something for her, do it. Don't stand each other up. Remain consistent. Hit each other up when you say you're gonna do it. If you send good morning text, send good morning text every time. If you send good night text, send good night text every time. You're dealing with people's emotions here, okay? It's a very sensitive topic that we're dealing with. Be consistent. Third tip I'd like to give is trust. Now, I understand that trust in a relationship is a difficult thing to come by, and I mean difficult with a capital D. There's a lot of people that are coming into relationships with individuals who have trust issues, and that may stem from an abandonment issues that they have with their parent or their experienced infidelity in a previous relationship. As their new partner, it is your duty to nurture that trust. Show them that you can be trusted. Open yourself up. Allow them to have access to your life. No room for sketchy behavior. Unlock your phone. You know, if there's a friend that she inquired about or he inquired about that you're acting really weird about, eliminate all that. Give them access to your life and prove to them that you can be trusted. You know, there's a time in Nolan and I's relationship where I lost his trust and he lost my trust. You know, we've been together for a while, right? But it was our duty. We loved each other so much and we were not going to give up. That wasn't an option to give up. And we were going to earn that trust no matter what. If it killed me, I was going to make him trust me again. You know what I mean? So I would go the extra mile, and it is important for you to go the extra mile for your partner. Peace of mind in a relationship is priceless. It cannot be bought. You cannot buy me a house. You can't buy me a car. You can't buy me Manolo Blahnik shoes. I need your trust. If I have your trust, I have everything. If we can trust each other, we can do anything in this relationship. Do you understand what I'm saying? When Nolan and I would say we're going to be somewhere, we would prove that we're going to be there. We're dealing with a person with trust issues. You are going to go the extra mile to prove to your partner that you are where you say you are. If you're not communicating with that person anymore, you're going to prove that you're not communicating with that person anymore. If you stop that bad habit, you're not doing it anymore, and you're going to prove that you're not doing it anymore. Give your partner that peace of mind and eliminate the paranoia. Fourth tip I'd like to give is to eliminate pride. Now, pride usually surfaces in a relationship as the confetti from the puppy dog phase is settling, because now you guys are really starting to get to know each other and you guys are bumping heads. Now, when it comes to pride between the sexes, women have a hard time holding on to it than men do. I'm gonna give you an example. There's a couple and these two are arguing and the girl is in her feelings and she's like, okay, I don't care, you can go, you still here, okay, goodbye, you know. And the guy's like, all right, babe. I pack his stuff and he's gone. And as he's walking out, she breaks down. She's like, no, why? You see, you don't care. You see, you always walking away. Why you always doing that? You don't care about me. And he's just like, what is going on? But you see what I did there? You see the scenario? Her pride was there in the beginning when she was telling him to go. She doesn't care, you can go, why are you still here? But it didn't last long. Now, when it comes to guys, you guys can hold on to that and run with it. You guys would go the extra mile. And the funny thing about that is, you know, it hurts you too. Oh, okay, she did that, I'm gonna teach her a lesson. Alright, I'm gonna fall all the way back. Bet, I'm gonna fall. Alright, say no more, I'm gonna fall back. And you know, while you're not talking to her, it's eating you up, it's hurting you too. Best believe when Nolan and I get into an argument and I'm wrong, you best believe I'm crawling back to my man, admitting that I'm wrong. I'm deeply and genuinely apologizing to him, and I'm reassuring to him that that's not going to happen again. Eliminate the pride, because it will destroy you as a unit. Tip number 5 would be to grow with your partner and do not leave each other behind. I'm going to explain myself. The same individuals Nolan and I were when we were 17 were not the same people we were when we were 21, who's not the same person we were now that we're 25. We grew together, and you guys got to be mindful that as you're transitioning, you guys cannot leave each other behind. I'm going to give you an example. There's a scenario of a couple, right? This couple's been together for 4 years. And along these 4 years, as they progressed, they both put on a couple pounds together and they became overweight, right? Now, one of the partners in the relationship had a light bulb moment and say, you know what? I'm going to change my life. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to strive to be in the best shape of my life. Now, this individual decided to do this without their partner. And this is when things started to go south. The gentleman lost so much weight and became the best shape of his life. And when you change your body, your mind also changes. Now, if he's this newfound 2.0 version of himself and his wife is still back there, there's going to cause some problems. There's going to be some insecurities that surfaces. You know, she's going to think to herself, well, you know, we've been fat together for so long. Who are you trying to impress? Why are you going to the gym? Is there someone else? Are you cheating on me? Why are you trying to lose weight? Huh? What are you doing all this for? Who are you trying to look good for? You know? We were fat together for so long. Why the change? You know? And that's when the insecurities come up. You guys, with the best thing that scenario that couple should have done, he should have dragged her along with him so that way they can change together. Nolan and I graduated college before him. Right? He's still in college in his senior year. I transitioned. I make sure that even though I graduated, I did not leave him behind. I'm not moving away. I'm waiting on my man. I'm waiting for him to graduate. You understand? It doesn't matter what stage in life that you are in with your partner. Be sure to not leave your partner behind. You guys have to grow together. Tip number 6 is to be selfless. I see that a lot of people walk into relationships with a very selfish mindset, like, I'm gonna get mine. You know, she's out for your pockets and you out for her body. She's trying to reap the benefits of your money and you just trying to get yours, trying to get your nut, right? No, that's not the right place to go. You have to put your partner's desires before yours. Now, to some people that may sound a little weird, like, what you mean before mine? But if both of you are doing it, what's the issue? If he's worried about if you're straight and you're worried about if he's good, if he's mentally fine, if you can speak life into him, he can speak life into you, what's the problem? You both are getting yours. Stop being selfish and just worry about yourself. Put your partner before you and you will get that reciprocated back to you and you guys will grow together. Got it? Be spontaneous. Tip number 7. I can't stress it enough. If you're trying to build longevity with your partner, it is important to keep it going, keep the sparks flying, keep it fresh, keep it vibrant, and remain spontaneous. There was a point in time in Nolan and I's relationship where we grown to be very complacent. We had a little routine going and it was going down the drain, if you know what I mean. You know? It would be a situation where he would come home from work, I would come home from work, and either one of us would go to the other one's house, make dinner, sit on the couch, watch a movie, crash, fall asleep, wake up, oh snap, be completely confused. One of us has to go home, and we would do the same thing over and over again. That started to be whack. We look at each other like, bruh, I'm bored. He's like, man, I'm bored too. Like, all right, then let's go do something. Like, bet, let's go do something then. Now we hike, we go on joy rides, we do whatever we want to do when we want to. We keep it fresh, we keep it fun, we keep it vibrant, and I encourage you to do so too. Tip number 8, make sure the both of you are financially stable. It is embarrassing to watch a couple where one of the parties is supporting the other. You guys are supposed to be supporting each other. Now, if I see one more scenario where the woman is essentially taking care of the man, you know, my head is going to explode. And for the women, you gotta be ashamed of yourself. If you really gonna put all that control in his hands, right? You don't have any say-so. If you guys argue, he's gonna snatch all that away, being vindictive. Why would you put something like money and the ability to take care of yourself in the hands of a man that's not even your husband, my G? Like, he's not even your hubby. And he's the only one with the money? What are you doing with your time? Like, what are you doing? Female, male, what are you doing? Why is she holding you down? Why is he the only one? Why is he taking you out? Can you take him out? Can you give him a break? You know what I'm saying? Can you take him out on a date? Can you treat him shopping? Can you do that? If not, fix it. That's unacceptable. Tip number 9, establish separate identities. It's very easy when a couple becomes in a relationship in the public, they identify them as one person. If they see Cassandra, they think about Nolan. If they see Nolan, where's Cassandra? We became one person. But it is very important to have your own thing going. If he's in school, you're in school. If he's doing basketball, fashion, or something else, you're doing your own thing. You have to have your own identity because that is the gateway to insecurity if you're living in the shadow of your spouse. Don't do that to yourself. You've been warned. Don't be that girl or be that guy living in the shadow of your spouse. When you think about Beyonce and Jay-Z or Aisha and Steph Curry, each member of the team has their own thing going and they can support each other. They can hold it down for each other. Aisha has her own food show coming up in the Food Network. He's killing it in the NBA right now. Beyonce and Jay-Z, we don't even need to talk about them. They're billionaires. They're straight. They both getting there. They're both holding it down. They both getting theirs. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys both are doing what you have to do, and you guys cannot leave each other behind. We can go back to the first couple of steps. Do not leave each other behind. Make sure you guys have your own separate identity. Tip number 10 would be to have respect in a relationship. I can't stress how important this is. When you guys are having a dispute, don't call each other out of each other's names. If you guys want to be vindictive and be spiteful, don't bring up each other's vices or bad habits and rub it in their face. That's disrespectful. Don't do that. Have respect and love for your partner. I remember this one time when I was watching Love and Hip Hop. I shouldn't be watching that, but you can't deny how incredibly entertaining it is. But there was this one moment where Mendices and Yandy was on stage during the reunion episode. And Yandy was having a heated dispute with one of the girls on stage. I don't know who it was, but I was zoned into them. And Yandy, she got out of pocket. She stood up. She got out of character. She stood up and was like, "What's good? Run up." Right? And Mendices looked at her and was like, "Yo, sit down." And at that moment, she looked at him and she sat down. To the average person seeing that, they can be like, "Oh, he got her in check." No. To me, I was like, that's the type of respect I'm talking about. That's the type of respect I'm talking about. See, what happened was she was being out of line, and he identified that. He's like, "No, you're out of character, babe." And he said, "Yandy, sit down." She looked at him. She saw that he was disappointed in her, and that alone crushed her more. That she was more concerned with that way he viewed her than her proving a point to the public and to that person that she was arguing. That his opinion of her mattered more. I could even talk about the Hulk and that little woman that he likes. I don't know much about that movie, but I can remember that relationship that the Hulk and that little lady had together. If you can find the person that can tap into you and calm down the beast within you, they can calm that down. That's the type of respect I'm talking about. Tip number 11 is a no-brainer. Love your partner. As time progresses from the first day you met to the 6th month, that's a good enough time to know whether you love that person or not. And when you love them, you express it, and you express it often. Show the person that you love, especially as women. We like to be reminded on how you feel about us. Nolan and I have this tradition. At the end of the day, some people may call it needy. I need it from Nolan. It's a part of my love language. I'm going to talk about that in a few steps after this. But I always say, "Babe, can you love on me?" And he will just sit up. He'll stop what he's doing. He's playing the video games. He'll still press pause. It doesn't matter. At any given moment, he'll stop. He said, "Baby, I love you. You mean the world to me. I appreciate you for X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G." And I'm just like, "Thank you, babe. I really needed that. I needed you to remind me that." And I love on him too. I speak life into him. And I encourage you guys to do that with each other. If you guys love each other, tell them that you love them, and show them that you love them in the way that they reciprocate it, and in the way that they receive it clearly from you. Tip number 12 would be patience. Accept each other's flaws, because none of us are perfect. In Nolan and I's relationship, I struggled with pornography and he struggled with alcohol, right? Two big things that we had to deal with with each other at the same time. That was very difficult, but it required a lot of patience. A lot of times that both of us slipped up, and that we both had to check each other on it on numerous occasions. But whatever flaw that you guys have with each other, be patient. Sometimes the flaw is that one of us are very petty, you know what I mean? And we can go from 0 to 100 for no reason, for the littlest thing, and the other one has to just be like, "Oh my God." All right, one of us has to be the strong one here. You cannot fight fire with fire. One of you has to be the patient one when the other one is bouncing off the walls, losing it. You know what I mean? Patience. Patience is key. Tip number 13, have healthy debates. Now, everybody knows in relationships we're all going to argue. We're two different people with two different opinions. We're just going to have arguments sometimes, but you can do it in a healthy way. It doesn't have to be a shouting match. Curses don't have to be said. Things don't have to be thrown. Tears don't have to be shed. right? Have a real debate. Make it fun, right? Me and Nolan, we flex that muscle of listening and proving a point without disrespecting each other. Treat it like a real debate. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you talk. Yeah, I'm listening. Alright. Oh, for real? Okay. Alright, that's true, that's true. Alright, you done? Because I'm about to flame you with some facts, babe. Peep this, XYZD. You know what I mean? We're it's so funny to think about, but you have to treat it like a real debate, like a debate team. And before you know it, the problem is resolved, and we can go back to cooking and watching Netflix. Tip number 14, be transparent with each other. You guys have to know each other through and through. I can't stress that enough. Ask each other about each other's upbringing, childhood, deep dark secrets. What happened to you back then that causes you to be like the way you are now? Everybody has a reason why they are the way that they are. You just have to sit back, tap into them, and peel the layers back and ask and really figure it out. You know what I mean? I had anger issues with me, okay? My anger used to be borderline physical, right? And that he was confused. He was like, why do you want to get violent? And it goes back to where I was raised, being a New Yorker, and how I'm not used to people talking. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like when people talk stuff. When people talk where I'm from, you get handled, okay? And even growing up in my household, how my parents disciplined us. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a tap in the hand. We got whooped. You know what I mean? So I had to deal with that. And he had to be patient with me. I had to explain to him that this is where it originated and this is why the way that I am. And I encourage you guys to be transparent with each other. If you guys notice that someone's something that's a little off with your partner, sit them down and ask questions about their childhood and try to figure it out. Because like I said before, we all have a reason to why the way that we are. It is just your job as the partner to figure it out. Tip number 15. Know your partner's love language. Now, the brilliant author by the name of Gary D. Chapman wrote the book on it, and it's transforming relationships everywhere. It even helped mine. Nolan and I went online. Well, I went online and I told Nolan, click this link. Take this quiz for me real quick, right? The quiz, you have to answer the questions honestly, and it gives you a hierarchy. The results, it gives you a hierarchy of what's least important to you and what's most important to you out of the 5 love languages, which is quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, or acts of service, right? Now, those 5 things may be very different from other people. My love language is physical touch and words of affirmation. I need that from Nolan to show him, for him to show me that he loves me. Now, other men, they may feel as if acts of service shows you that you love them. Cook for them, clean for them. That may show you that you love them. I need for Nolan to hold my hand, love on me, touch me, tell me how much I mean to him. That's my love language. And I encourage you guys to go online, find the quiz, take the quiz, and then shoot each other that email and have them read the results and practice and really focus on what your top 2 love languages are. Because some people like gifts and they want their spouse, their partner, to buy them gifts. And if that's the way your partner wants to be shown that you love them, that's what you have to do. Tip number 16, verbal and non-verbal communication with your partner. Now, it's easy for Nolan and I to communicate with each other, right? And I want you to understand that it is okay to tell your partner that, babe, what you're doing is pissing me off right now. It is completely fine to say that. You know, a lot of couples tell me like, you know, we never argue. Oh my gosh, we just love each other. We just never argue. I'm looking at you like, poor thing. One of you isn't being honest with each other. One of you guys is holding back and being very passive, and it is only a matter of time before that person implodes, better yet, explodes, right? Before you know it, you're like, oh, I don't know what happened. That person's being very passive. There's no such thing as a couple that never argues. It's not true. You guys aren't communicating with each other. You guys have to be able to see all 4 seasons. Happy, mad, sad, angry. You guys have to be able to see every single part of that person. And if you're not communicating, you're not seeing it. You understand what I'm saying to you? Communicate. Now, let's talk about nonverbal communication. Now, Nolan is very tapped into me, and I'm very tapped into him, down to the micro expression. If we're at dinner and he's telling me a story and I'm like nodding and I'm listening and I look to the side a little bit, he'll stop. What's wrong, babe? And I'm like, oh snap, how did he see that? Like, babe, what's wrong? I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. He's like, no, babe, let's talk about it. What's wrong? And then I'll tell him, he was like, I knew it. I knew something was bothering you. And I'm just like, wow. I looked to the side for a split second. I made a micro expression in my face for a split second. He knew something was wrong with me. Or it could be a situation where I'm doing my homework and he's doing his homework, and I can sense that he's a little frustrated or he's a little tense. And I look at him and he's not saying anything, but I could just see in his body language that he's a little tired or he's frustrated. And I'm tuned into him so much to the point I will go over them and I just kiss on him and I love him and ask him if he needs anything. Do I want to go get his cookies that he likes? And he just, I love you, babe, thank you. And I really need you guys to be tuned in with each other. Like, you guys are like one person. You guys aren't married yet, but you're practicing, right? Tune in with your partner. Understand them physically. Understand the communication verbally and non-verbally. It's imperative that you understand this and that you're in tune with your partner. Tip number 17. Understand the type of relationship dynamic that your partner has with their parent or guardian. If they are not in good standing with their mother, father, or guardian, that may reflect down to you or your future children. The way that if he doesn't respect his mother, you're going to eventually start seeing that matriculated down to you in the way he talks to you, his tone, his anything, right? For example, for the girl, let's switch gears to her. If her father was never in her life, right, and she has daddy issues, you may notice like she may view you as her father, you know? It's a little weird, but it's not, I don't want to call it weird, but that's just the reality of it all. Some of us, if we're lacking in something with our parent is our first relationship, you know, but if we're lacking in that, we're searching for it in somebody else. If your partner has, mommy is like a mama's boy, right? You're going to be competing with that mom all the time. Trust me on this one. I've seen it. It is crazy. And those type of relationships don't really last long. You have to be able to, if you see that your partner, your boyfriend is a mama's boy and that mama is not letting you in or is constantly in y'all's relationship, you better talk to him and have him nip that in the bud, honey. Because it's only a matter of time before things go south. And if you're if the female in the relationship, or she's a daddy's girl, you know, is going to be an issue if her dad has always been the #1 man in her life and he does everything and she doesn't really need you for much because she can call her father. Her father can handle it. Something's broken, her father can handle it. She's not even going to ask you about it. And that's going to help, that's going to make you feel like less of a man, right? So all that matters, figure it out, ask questions. If you see any flaws, fix it and nip it in the bud before transitioning into that second stage of the important relationship, which is marriage. Tip number 18, you have got to be a whole person. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, that's my other half, that's my other half. No, you should be saying that's my other whole, because you cannot come in with deficiencies into the relationship. You have to be a completely whole person. If you're suffering from a heartbreak, you cannot come fresh out of a relationship into another one. That's craziness. You literally have to be whole. Build yourself back up, pick up the pieces, strengthen yourself back up until you're whole, and then go into another relationship. So therefore you can add value to it. People like to say 50-50. No, Noah and I, we give 100%, 100%. into the relationship. You understand what I'm saying? I really hope that made sense. Tip number 19, stay sexy. Now, all the other tips I gave you are very character based and personality based, but it's very important that you maintain your sexy for your partner. You really want them to be attracted to you and to stay attracted to you. It's very self-explanatory. When I walk out the house, I'm looking good for my man. I don't care about y'all. Yeah, Cassie, you so pretty. Oh, okay, but yeah, I'm doing it for my man, so that way he likes me still, and he does it for me. Keeps that lineup fresh, because he knows how I react to it when he has a fresh cut. Oh, Lord, gee. Babe, don't do that. Don't do that to me right now. It's a funny joke that we have, but we love to look good for each other, and I encourage you to do the same thing. Tip number 20, when it comes to Christ and living for God, you guys have to make sure that you both are equally yoked. If one person's living for Christ and another one isn't, there's going to be some conflict there. Especially if a person's like, oh, my boyfriend is an atheist, but I believe in Jesus, but I believe I can convert him. And that's not going to work. You guys both have to be in the walk together. The love of God is so amazing. And if you guys can both be holding hands and running after Christ together, you guys are bound to make it. But without Christ, you guys are probably bound to fail. Trust me on this. Been there, done that, wrote the book on it. Nolan and I's relationship was very rocky. You know, very rocky. Imagine climbing a mountain and just the rocks are falling. We're sliding back down. But once we started living for God, living for Christ, that's when stuff started adding up and lining up, and our relationship started being like a ministry to people. People looked up to us. We started to add the years onto, and people saw us as a valid example of what a Christian couple should look like. And it's not just my relationship that's a ministry, your relationship is too, because believe it or not, people are watching you. Especially the younger ones, your cousins, your friends, we're all watching you. Believe it, we're watching you, man. We're seeing if you're gonna make it. You're seeing whether or not you're gonna be a statistic. Oh, another one bites the dust. Let's see how the next one goes. No, we're rooting for you, secretly rooting for you. So yeah, be equally yoked in Christ. Run after Jesus together, and you guys are bound to make it together forever. Tip number 21, date with a purpose. You know, I see a lot of casual dating happening, you know what I mean? You guys are getting to know each other, texting, you guys are, you know, going 100 miles per hour, and the next thing you know, you guys don't even hit each other up anymore. Like, what happened? Date with a purpose. Don't do it just to pass time because you're bored, or that person's your rebound because the main doesn't want to act right. No, date with a purpose. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. Go back to what I said, friendship. Figure it out. See if that person's in the same state of mind as you, has the same, doesn't have any baggage, no exes, no crazy exes that they have to worry about. Make sure that you guys are on this path, this right path together. If you guys are both wanting to marry one day, that's a purpose. If you guys want to build a family one day, that's a purpose. You guys want to minister the love of Christ one day together, that's a purpose. Do it together and make sure you're not wasting time, because time is so precious. Tip number 22, be indestructible as a unit. When I say indestructible, you guys are linked and it's tight. There's gonna be people out there in the world that sees you. You know, when you were single, your phone was dry as a desert, but as soon as they found out that you were in a relationship, oh my gosh, your phone will not stop going off. Your DMs are popping right now, and your messages, and all you see is red on your notifications on Facebook. How did that happen? Doesn't matter. Make sure that you two are indestructible as a relation, as a couple, as a unit. If you see people coming in, nip that in the bud. Strong hand. Go that way. No, absolutely not. They are not worth it. Is that girl worth taking the spot of your girl? Is that guy is his abs worth losing your relationship with your man? I don't think so. So lock it up and make sure you guys are communicating with each other. I like to snitch. I'm like, babe, that guy DM'd me. He said XYZ, and that was it. He's like, oh, word? Show me. Here, babe. You want me to scroll for you? This is what he said. Got it? Cool. Alright, that's done. No one's getting in between this. No one's messing anything up. Oh, trust me, I'm that girl. If I see a consistent girl coming around, you best believe I'm a checker, and I'm a checker quick. Real quick. And you know who you are. Hey girl, you know who you are. I don't play that, and he doesn't play that either. And I suggest you protect your relationship with your life, because it's your future, okay? This is yours. You built this. I'll be danged if someone tries to come in and mess something up. Good luck. You're gonna be dealing with me. Tip number 23, encourage one another. I can't stress how important this is, because me personally, sometimes I beat myself up to the point of slight depression. Like I would just discourage myself so much, and I just be in a rut, covers over my head, and I'm just don't want to talk. And he'd be like, snap out of it, man. Come here, man. Sit on my lap and take that bonnet off your head and talk to me, babe. You're better than this. You got this. He speaks life into me, and I do the same for him. When he was going through a rough patch and he lost his mother, I had to be that rock for him. You understand what I'm saying? I had to support, I had to speak life for him. Even if I saw that he was crying and it tore me up inside, but I had to be strong for him. Encourage one another. Build each other up. When they're breaking down, that should break you down. When you look at them, you're looking at yourself. That's you right there. That's your reflection. You cannot let them break down. You gotta build them up, and build them up firm. And I don't care how many times you gotta do it in a day. Do it. I promise you they'll appreciate it. They probably don't want to hear it right now, but they will appreciate it. For sure. Tip number 24. We're almost done, guys. Maintain healthy friendships outside of your relationship. Now, I know this may be a little tough for some of you, but I feel like we need to address the elephant in the room. Okay, my ear is itching. Whatever. There are a lot of you guys out there with best friends. I'm gonna get a little close. With best friends that are of the opposite sex. Really? You guys are best friends and you guys are the opposite sex? You mean to tell me that it's been platonic the whole time? You mean to tell me that this person hasn't been attracted to you not once, or you have been attracted to that person not once in your friendship? You gotta be kidding me. And I see a lot of people in relationships, coming into relationships, and their partner has a best friend of the opposite sex. You got me messed up right now. I'm not about to be competing with your best friend. You guys know what I'm talking about here. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes your best friend could just be a best friend, but as soon as you get into a relationship, the best friend starts, whoa. Then they start acting funny. When you get into a relationship, if you do have a best friend, right? You need to tell them to respect your relationship. She can't be calling you at 2 a.m. out the blue no more. Your girlfriend does not appreciate that and is threatened by it. You need to tell your best friend that's not no longer appropriate, or vice versa. Tell your boy, tell your best friend that you're going on a date right now. And no, you don't need to just meet him and make sure I approve. No, you don't have a say in that. You're just my friend. This is the person that I am attracted to, that I am falling in love with. You have to respect him. Okay? Stay in your lane as a friend. Do not cross that. I see so many of these issues, man. You got me messed up. And some of you are in them right now. Some of you feel like you can't even compete with the best friend, because they've been in their lives for so long and you just got here. That's unhealthy and uncomfortable, and that's robbing you of your peace of mind. And if you don't have peace of mind, you don't have trust. So make sure that your friendships outside of your relationships are healthy, and that you guys are running everything by each other. And if something is making me feel uncomfortable, or if I'm threatened by something, I am going to nip that in the bud myself. Because if this is your relationship, you got to protect it. And you protect it well. Tip number 25, last but certainly not least, support each other's dreams and aspirations. I see a lot of couples that, break each other's spirits down and say, oh, that's silly. Why would we do this? Are you sure you really want to invest all of our savings into this? I might be jumping the gun. That may be like more of a marriage type of thing. But you see where I'm going here. If your partner likes something, if you guys are both making 6 figures, right? But all he wants to do is play a banjo in Central Park on the floor, girl, you better find you you better go to the thrift store and find you a blanket so you both can sit on it and support your man. I don't care what it is. Support him and he'll support you, because the last thing you want is to be years down the line and he's just looking at you like, and he's resenting you because you robbed him of that. That was his dream in his 20s. You said that was stupid. And now that you guys are 40 and 50, he hates you deep down inside because you never supported him and gave him the chance to explore that part of his life. And that can go both ways. Make sure you guys support each other's life dreams and goals and aspirations, because you guys will be feeding each other's soul. Because yes, a lot of us work 9 to 5, but a lot of us have side gigs. And these side gigs are the thing that makes us smile, that makes us wake up in the day. Make sure that we support that. The jobs that we have, that's just money to just help us stay afloat. But our passion, the thing we do on the side, that's the thing that you need to be tapped in and focused on when it comes to your partner. Support it. And you guys will prosper and be together for years. I thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I feel like you guys have a good sense of the type of person that I am now, and I'm glad that you do. I'm a no-nonsense type of girl, and I want you guys to be no-nonsense type of people, because this is your life that we're talking about here. And you need to take ownership of it and control it and make sure it prospers. I thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Tell you guys, I had to fight my flesh to the point of tears and rage and literally screaming at my reflection in the mirror to stop, because I literally couldn't, and I couldn't do without God.